All right, we are talking Oscars 2011 here on Eruptin.com. We've got Katy in New York and Hanniel in Los Angeles joining us now to discuss the results. King's Speech took home quite a bit, won Best Picture. Do we think it deserved it? Katy, we'll start with you.
I think it was a gorgeous film. The cinematography was beautiful, considering its extremely boring subject matter.
I'll agree with you there.
Managed to still be brilliantly entertaining, as well as extremely lovely to watch. The camera, the cinematography.
Hani, do we agree?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I didn't actually see the King's Speech, but if I did, I probably would have hated it. And, I actually didn't see any of that except for The Social Network, so really I should say The Social Network was the best, even though that's totally not true. But I wanted to see 127 Hours, even though James Franco quite frankly sucked tonight. But
Speaking of James Franco, what did we think of him hosting the Oscars tonight? He looked a little tired, to be polite. Anne Hathaway, I think, held her own. But what do you all think? Is the younger Hollywood the way to go for the Oscars?
I don't know. He's so charismatic in every single thing that he ever does. I mean, every single thing.
Was he charismatic tonight?
He was terrible. And I'm sorry, James. I don't really you're great and everything else.
Katy, what about you? Did Anne and James really, uphold the Oscar host?
I love his classic smile. As much as I hate to, I have to say that James looked like it was his first time on stage, and he'd never seen an audience before in his life.
Like a child. A 5-year-old child.
He's extremely talented, but where's your talent, James? Where's your talent? Anne, I really felt like was giving it her all, but I mean, Anne Hathaway is the host.
I love Anne Hathaway.
She's great, but
So let me.
Also,
I'm sensing Katy not a fan of the younger Hollywood hosting.
I thought that was pretentious and annoying.
All right,
I believe in this generation. I just really think that maybe they should have put up Jesse Eisenberg. We love him, as well as his co-star Eduardo in The Social Network. Love that guy. Really handsome.
All right, King's Speech took home quite a bit. We got supporting actor, best directing. Do you think it was worth all the hype, or do you? What do you guys give? How much weight do you put on a film for its historical significance versus just being a film like Inception? Do you think films that have a lot of history get more credit than they deserve just because people get excited about their historical significance? Katy, we'll start with you.
In spite of this, there's been plenty of historical movies that have been unwell told, let's say. I really believe that that history was the theme tonight. We were going for the more recent history of the development of Social Network versus a further back history of
the King's Speech.
Story of the King's Speech. Now listen, this is one story that could have been told in such a tear-drippingly boring way that it would have had us all wishing for our own deaths, having our brains scraping at the inside of our skulls. However, the storytelling that this movie utilized was absolutely phenomenally brilliant. It turned an ordinarily moderate, uninteresting story and made it into a masterpiece, into one that really touched the soul. I laughed during this movie, I cried during this movie, all the way through. I thought it was absolutely brilliant.
All right, we have just about 30 seconds left. Hani, do you think any movie got the shaft tonight? Do you think any movie deserved, an award that did not get an award?
I'm not really sure if I'm qualified to comment on
All right, then let's ask Katy. Let's ask Katy on that. Katy, you think?
No, I didn't see Black Swan. I do not think that Natalie Portman should have walked away with an Oscar.
And why do you say that, Hani? Why do you say that?
I just don't think she can act. Never. I mean, I haven't seen it, though, so I'm like, maybe I should give her some credit. Maybe I should see this movie. But even the clips I've seen, it's just wah, wah, wah. Same old thing.
There's something Natalie does extremely well. That's cute and cuddly.
And it's not Black Swan, I guess what you're trying to say. All right, thanks very much, ladies. We have Katy in New York and Hanniel in Los Angeles, as we can see from their background. For Eruptin.com, we'll see you next time. Thanks again.